Off and on the clock, week 16 slate on Underdog. I'm Pete with Nez and John from the BadgeBros. We're going to walk through the slate from a high level perspective. We'll give you our favorite scroll down plays, ADP values, talk about the drafting landscape. We'll do some small field strategy with the Deposit Kingdom tournament launching here in about 30 minutes. And then, of course, we'll slop it up. We'll spice it up with some pick'ems. I'm Pete. This is Off and on the Clock. Let's do it. All right. Nez with the scroll hat, John with the Underdog shirt. We are outfitted and ready to go. How we doing today, fellas?
Good, man. Good. It's nice to see Nez's face. Nice to see you, buddy. It's been a long week of just listening to my own voice on repeat. So I'm happy to sit back and be a little bit of a fly on the wall here and hear some good takes for a change here, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, thank you for holding it down over on the BadgeBros channel there, John. While I visited with my parents down here in Dallas, I missed you, and I'm excited to get back in the saddle, do some pick'ems, talk some BRs. I've been drafting. You know, Nez is Big Nez, Coach Nez, Dub City 814. My father, he has a red badge now, guys. He got the red badge while he was down here. But he does it he grinds the sit and goes. He loves
Really?
Yes. Yeah. He's bullying these people in the sit and goes. He's showing me like, look at this draft. Look at this guy. Like it's like super flex. You take QBs. People don't take QBs. He's hilarious, but regardless, good time with the rents. And I'm excited to get fully back into
Pete, do you feel threatened, dude?
I mean, yeah, well, I was just thinking, so I was in some draft rooms this morning with Xerxes, and his dad, Papa Xerx, is on the platform as well. You guys should set up like a 2v2, like Nez,
that would
Papa
be funny.
Nez for Xerx and Daddy Xerx there.
Yeah, now that I met Xerx there, I can probably set that up. Yeah, that'd bring in all the views. Everyone wants to see.
I was also laughing with John doing all the BadgeBros streams this week, because like sometimes when I miss one, I'll hit you guys up and be like, hey, will you drop the link to your pick'em so I can tail? And like when Nez sends it over, it'll be like an 18x or something. And John sends over his from last night. They're like 300x. Like it's just like John was in it. I was like, yep, it must have been a John solo stream with these pickups. I'm like, this guy hasn't had a triple double since he played middle school basketball, but why not?
Maybe tonight's the night, Pete. You never know.
Oh, I'm glad I could reel him back in.
All right, let's get down to it. Let's start just kind of high level here. I want to go to you first, Nez, because we did have one of those rare times at the beginning of this week with the David Montgomery news where there was going to be actual meaningful CLV, even in the six mans, with Jahmyr Gibbs. Talk about, I know you jumped in there. How did that go? What kind of teams were you able to build early with Gibbs?
Yeah, not very many super sick teams. People were not sleeping on that one at all. When that news dropped, he was ADP 17, and I put him at pick 5, like right behind Bijan. And I did like 100 drafts in total, and I think I ended up with 20%. So that's good compared to where he is now, because now he's the 101. But I mean, people were not letting him past the 1-2 turn. It was not happening. But people were still like waiting, like as soon as I see him in the second round, like, no, I'm taking him. So I ended up with 20%. Now he's my 101, and like he's everybody's 101. But I as much as I could, but people were not letting that. Yeah, people were not letting that go.
And I will say, Nez, this was because I want to say I drafted a team on Portfolio Review Monday morning, and then this came out mid-morning. Like, people don't have to worry about Gibbs super teams in the BR.
Nope. No, not even close. Not even close. If you think it's a problem, I promise it's not. I promise.
And that was mid-morning Monday. When I did the show on Wednesday and talked about it a little bit, the BR was only at 11%. So, I mean, even if like 11% filling Monday through Wednesday, like it would have been like 3% of the contest on Monday that maybe had access to second or third round, and he was probably pushing ahead of that anyways.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, you think, okay, let's see, what could you have gotten? Say you have like a Barkley What could you have, like maybe the turn would be better. You got like Jefferson, Puka, and then came back and got Gibbs in the third. Like maybe there's a couple of those like super early on. And then it's like, you still got to fucking hit the nuts with your last 3 picks too. Like you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. You could be given that head start and still probably lose money in BR. Like these games are still hard.
Look no further than my portfolio, fellas. Look no further.
Yeah. All right. Other thoughts on this slate? I'm always coming right off my show with Jam, so I got kind of some of his macro thoughts bouncing around. But what do you guys think about this slate overall? What are some other spots jumping out to you?
It feels like everyone's kind of funneling to the exact same quote unquote scroll spots. Like spots that I thought were going to be a little sneakier early in the week have now really steamed up. Like thinking through Chuba, thinking through DJ Moore, and maybe getting to the Chicago side. So now that I'm about 50 drafts into the main BR, I'm trying to find some even sneakier pivots off that stuff, because it seems like, Anthony Richardson, I thought was going to be a little sneaky at like pick, QB 12, and now all of a sudden he's QB 8 and ETR has him way up. So some of those quote unquote projection darlings, just trying to find some contrarian pivots off those ones right now.
Yep. What about you, Nez? Because it sounds like both you guys have gotten some decent volume in already this week.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit. I've done a good amount of the Wildcats and the main BRs right now, and I think my player pool is right now like really concentrated. I have 194 drafts done in total across all those drafts, like the hurry up and all that stuff, right? And I've done the playbooks. 7 QBs, 14 running backs, 14 wideouts, and 9 tight ends. I feel like that's pretty condensed at the moment. Yeah, so I've got my favorites for sure. I was taking some Judy before I got the DTR death knell. No more Jerry Judy. No more Judy there. That's a crime, man. Like how can they do that to us? How can you just like show us all these fun Jameis games and then take it away from us?
I will tell you, I wrote that exact same sentiment in the Fantasy Life newsletter, and there was a guy in my Twitter mentions who's really mad at me, like extremely mad at me. I went to his bio and it does say Cleveland, so I was like, this helps. But to put myself in the mind of a Cleveland Browns fan, and this guy sure as hell put me in the mind of a Cleveland Browns fan. They already know what Jameis is, and they are trying to tank for a better pick. Why Jameis throwing picks doesn't help them do that, I didn't follow up.
Yeah, of course.
But they need to see if DTR is the quarterback of the future. Narrator, he isn't. But this is what this guy yelled at me. He used fucking 300 characters in a tweet to tell me this. Anyways, I'm with you. I'm with you as well, Nez. It's a shame. But I will say, too, it got me thinking, and I think about this sometimes, like you take a guy with a Q tag, right? He gets ruled out. You kind of are like upset, like, whatever. But like the optionality, or in the case of like Judy, it's like it's still a really good matchup for the Browns passing game. There are still scenarios where Judy breaks a big play, like has a couple. And it's sometimes kind of nice because like I'm not going to want to click that now. It's kind of nice having that in your portfolio at a segment in time. And it's like I've moved on, but I actually have that in a way like I'm not going to get there because I'm like, I don't want to deal with it, and it still could hit.
I
appreciate that.
I was kind of shocked initial projections at like how decent DTR looked. Like I understand like the matchup is, people have been attacking the Bengals, particularly on the ground the whole time. And I was like, oh, nobody's going to play him this week. And then he's actually like projecting like half decent on ETR. Now, for a salary based game, maybe people find their way there, but maybe not for our contest. But one thing I found kind of funny with the DTR stuff that's truly sick is Chris Mazzone tweeted out a true scrolly F downs of like the 0.01% players, like the one share guys left in BBM. And there is someone with a DTR one this week. And there's someone with a Craig Reynolds this week as well. Could fall into the end zone as well. So I found those ones, and one Kareem Hunt share as well. So I thought those ones were pretty crazy.
Wow. If you guys want to see that, Patrick Donovan put that in a Google sheet. It's on his Twitter, and I retweeted it as well if you want to go find that. But yeah, you can go through the whole thing. There's a Jaheim Bell in there. It is very fun to scroll down to the bottom and see some of the random shit that advanced.
I sent you guys our highest finishing draft of just the three of us there on the weekend, and it had Jahmyr Jordan left on it. It finished third. It finished third place in it, or second place in its pod, and didn't get through. And it was only a 5 running back build, and 2 of the 5 running backs were CMC and Jahmyr Jordan. So good, clean fun, gentlemen.
One of my favorite things about like looking back on some of these like communal teams, and we did it a little bit last night on Chip Chasing, reminiscing about our team that's in the semis, is like I can remember specific moments from that draft. Like I remember you floating Jahmyr Jordan. I'm like, fucking fine. Like, am I gonna argue with this right now? Like, I can remember that.
Good times, man. I wouldn't trade it. Wouldn't trade that pick for anything.
Let's talk some more kind of like macro on this slate. Some stuff feels pretty evergreen, like lots of places to go at quarterback. Tight end feels very polarized, pretty clear top 4. Maybe you want to put Laporte up there. I don't know if I want to, but then kind of is a choose your own adventure. Running back feels kind of strong to me, but like, what are kind of your overall guys' thoughts on just slate dynamics?
I think Nez's portfolio kind of reflected it, that everyone feels pretty condensed at the onesies this week. I haven't seen a ton of scrolls at tight end outside of Brenton Strange, and that's not even that great a scroll, or not like great a scroll, that far a scroll would be better wording. I just kind of find it that everyone kind of seems a little concentrated at the onesies. So I think there'll probably be some leverage in some skinny stacks that other people don't want to get to.
Yeah, I think in general for me, it's just like a super condensed player pool for me. I find it really hard to scroll down. Like usually, I think like scrolling down at RB can be fun. I don't think scrolling at RB is very fun this week, just because the plays that I'm trying to get to. I know, John. John said, "Fucking try me." The plays I want to get to at RB, I just think are head and shoulders like the plays. So I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the running back position right now, and then like figuring out wide receiver from there. So my running back player pool, it's at 14 because I've done some goal line stands. It's extremely condensed, and we can get into that in a little bit here, but
the thing to remember too about the scrolls, right? And like this comes from salary cap DFS world. Like when you play contrarian, you're mostly trying to win the low scoring slates. You're trying to win the slates where the chalk fails, and then your more contrarian piece, or in this case, a scroll down piece, slightly exceeds, some of those higher things. And that's when you win. It's hard to be, a card carrying scroll bro after 2 weeks of just really massive score slates where it's like you can be right on your score and it doesn't fucking matter. Look for you could get 35 from Darnold, and if you don't have 42 from Josh Allen, it doesn't matter. And so it is an interesting dynamic, and I think to even talk about it through the lens of Josh Allen this week, because I don't think his ADP is wrong at all, but there are concerns of like, can he get pushed to put up a have it score where the opportunity cost of passing on Bijan or Chase or Jefferson doesn't kill you this week. But that's kind of the thing to think about, I think, with the scrolls, and why one thing I've been thinking about this week is being a little bit more willing to scroll at, say, tight end, where there are just fewer guys who can bury you, where if you're scrolling in wide receiver too, I think wide receiver is always a good spot to scroll. But to Nez's point, you are starting to sacrifice a lot of ceiling with the deep scrolls at running back.
Yep, I can't fight you guys on that one for sure. There, I am doing it again for the 3rd week in a row. The quasi soft fade on the Josh Allen stuff, which means I'm only gonna have like 7-8% because of game environment and weather and yada yada. I think they could really just control that ball game. But the teams in which I do run Josh Allen have been completely naked or with James Cook again. So similar thing as last week, where I just don't want to play whack-a-mole with the pass catchers, that sort of deal. And it's purely just a game theory thing, because I find the strength of the scrolls to be at the flatter scoring positions, which are the onesies. So I will be the inverse of Nez this week, and I will be not concentrated at the onesies at all, and I will be quite spread.
I think Josh Allen's really interesting this week, man. It does seem like in these matchups where they are just like giga favorites, right? 2 touchdown favorites. Does Josh Allen run as much? Because like it just doesn't seem like he has to. And to me, like it's almost like he's gonna like pass more because like he doesn't have to use his legs. I just feel like he's just gonna be able to drop back and pass a little bit more. It is really hard to pinpoint the ceiling on him. I'm with you. I have Josh Allen like 5 for me right now, and people love Josh Allen. And so I'm not gonna get a lot of Josh Allen. But I'm placing a heavy emphasis on Jalen Hurts, though. I think that we've seen this time and time again with these quarterbacks, like just the Josh Allen weeks back to back, just absolutely just killing a slate, right? Like you can play like pizza, you can hit everything right on the flex positions. If you don't have that Josh Allen score, it's like okay, cool, like enjoy your $7 or whatever.
Right.
It's meaningless. It's meaningless. But Jalen Hurts this week, man, I mean, the Eagles are kicking ass. They are rolling right now. It's a division game against Washington. And I think people are a little scared to click Jalen Hurts ADP 16 to me is, man, I think that's really bad. I think that's really bad. Because these look at the quarterbacks behind them, man. I mean, I know Burrow's been going nuts. Jaden Daniels has probably the toughest matchup on the slate. Kyler Murray just like refuses to have a ceiling. I mean, Jalen Hurts, man, is just so live for 30 here. God, man, love it.
And that's the thing. I was talking with JM, and it's like we don't have a Bills Rams or a Bills Detroit on this slate. But if there is a game that can do it, it's got to be Eagles Commanders, right? Like these big play offenses. We haven't seen it in a while from the Commanders. I guess they hinted at it in that game against the Saints. We saw the deep ball get going a little bit, but like this game could speed up. JM definitely has it by, he kind of had almost like a one Eagle in every lineup mantra. You miss out on Barkley. All right, grab Hurts. You miss out on Hurts. All right, grab AJB, kind of thing. Like, obviously you're not going to force that across a massive portfolio, but I think the sentiment definitely rings true that it could be a had to have it spot.
And what's nice, you don't have to stack it either. Like you really don't. Yeah. Like you could do Devontae, but like you obviously do not need to stack Jalen Hurts. And I think that just kind of makes, for the sake of drafting at volume, it makes it a little easier.
Yeah, definitely. Other stuff, we haven't talked a bunch or a lot about wide receiver. We have a few huge risers after last week. Devontae Adams and Brian Thomas were both well after ADP or 20 last week. They're in the top, 20 this week. You got the AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, if you want to choose to stack up those quarterbacks. T. Higgins off the injury report. And then I do think it's a really strong week at wide receiver. I mean, starting here at 30, and I mean, we can get into the scrolls here, but all kinds of attractive options deep here. What do you guys like at wide receiver?
To get different, largely just because ADP seems very fake when it comes to wide receivers. Guys are just grabbing whoever they want in given drafts. I have multiple like AJ Brown 6-round teams. When he had that Q tag for a hot minute there. I'll float you guys a couple spots in a minute that I'm kind of gravitating towards, but my macro takeaway is that like outside of the top 3, the rest of it's kind of a fugazi, and you can kind of just go wherever you want.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think just to like get very specific, I'm so pumped for this Michael Penix game, dude. I'm just like overjoyed that we get to see Michael Penix start against the Giants at home. Oh my God, man. Go ahead, because you're the UW boy, John. So please.
Yeah, I just want to talk
about. Is he a good UW boy?
He's definitely a good UW boy. It's funny how the pendulum shift on the narrative around him has changed drastically, right? Everybody was shocked that they took him at 8 after the Kirk Cousins contract. And then everyone was talking about him going into the draft as being propped up by the elite wide receiver talent around him. He was just this distributor, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden now we see those guys at this level, not perform to their peak right now. And now the narrative pendulum is completely swung back to maybe Michael Penix made those guys, and that's what's making everyone super excited. So it's funny to see the lens change on Penix so starkly, despite not playing a fucking snap. It's kind of wild.
I mean, John, we were pretty. I mean, you obviously were bullish on Penix pre-draft because you're a Husky boy, non-derogatory. You're a Husky fan. Sorry,
I'm a bit Husky these days too.
Hey, I shot in the Husky section. Dude, we were super pumped on Penix coming into the draft. I'm super excited to see what he does with these weapons because Drake London, in my opinion, and Kyle Pitts. I'll even give Kyle Pitts a pass here. I think a bit limited by Kirk Cousins' ability to play football, right? We have not seen Kirk Cousins look good since that Cowboys game, but like that was, that's a distant memory, right? That game, right? And so with Michael Penix's ability to throw downfield, like Drake London, man, is like he has this reputation of being a volume merchant. He's a very good wide receiver. I'm honestly a little bit bummed that we get Penix right now because now I think people are this is a bit of a coming out game. And I'll be like, oh shit, like Drake London is super good. Michael Penix is a good quarterback. And like now we get to see Drake London unleashed. I'm like, they're 8.5 point favorites in Michael Penix's first game. Like I think that other people are getting the picture here.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Nez, because I do think the market is going to still apply a slight discount because like in my mind, Bijan should probably be the 1-3 this week after Gibbs and Barkley. I'm a little worried about the game environment for Chase. We already kind of talked about the Josh Allen thing. Drake London at 28.3 feels a little light, whatever with Pitts, but I do think you are getting a slight discount because of Michael Penix here.
I think so. Yeah, I think people are, just are very uncertain about what they're going to get here. Josh Allen is scaring people. Chase has been going nuts. But yeah, there's things that are baked in there. Like there's a lot of fragile things baked into those guys that are going ahead of Bijan that are scaring them. And I think that Penix only helps Bijan's range of outcomes too, because it just changes the way the defenses have to play them. And I think Penix helps keep them on the field, gives them more goal line opportunities. I am super stoked about the Falcons this week.
Yeah, and they're in, must-win territory. They're going to be playing for the wild card spot, because the concern in other spots would be like, all right, you hide the new guy, you're big faves. Maybe you ride Tyler Algier more than usual here, but it's like they want to get him reps because this is a guy that they might be starting in the first round of the playoffs. Like they got to get, if he needs to chuck it 40 times this week, like he might need to chuck it.
I love that spin as well.
Yeah, they're only a Bucks loss and a head-to-head win away from winning the division.
Wow. I did not realize it was that close.
Let's quickly do the top end of tight end, and then we'll move to scroll down stuff. To me, kind of the top tier: McBride, Bowers, Kittle, Jonnu. I'm kind of surprised that Kittle isn't ahead of Bowers. I'm excited about Bowers this week, but I'm surprised people aren't having that flip just based on how things have gone. Is Trey McBride going to score a touchdown this week, guys?
Oh my God. Yeah. If there's a fumble by James Conner pounding one in and he falls on top of it, then he will score a touchdown.
It's so funny if they gave him like an end around touchdown and he still he scores, but it's not a receiving TD.
He's already had one.
No, I know, but I'm saying
but another one
scores again and it's not a receiving.
Yeah.
It's so insane. This is the most insane thing in the world. Like, could you imagine getting like 5x for a Trey McBride touchdown every single week? Like, I would be so broke because I would just be maxing out like a 5x Trey McBride touchdown every week, and it's only 1.2x this week. Like, it's the biggest anomaly in all of sports.
Did you look at what 2 touchandowns pay? Because it's about 5.5x. I don't know how I know that. Why would anyone know that?
Yeah. I don't know. Are we sick enough to go there? Spoiler alert. We will, because the floodgates are going to open, right? If it's 1, it's 2.
That's right.
The Bowers.
Any other thoughts on Bowers, Kittle, Jonnu?
Bowers one's just obviously the Jonnu stuff's interesting because of the Waddle being ruled out. Everyone and their dog wanted to play 2 doubles after the pass rate over expectation had spiked the last couple weeks there. And then it fails last week when they're without Armstead and another offensive lineman. And now everybody's off it. It's kind of been one of my contrarian get-tos right now because they're going to be even more concentrated. It's gross. It's ugly. I'm doing it. The splits without Armstead are really bad. And he's gone back-to-back DNPs there, but I'm playing Tua doubles ad nauseum right now in the 6 persons. Yeah,
I like it, man.
That's kind of where I was
so
going.
When you say Tua doubles, you mean, I guess you're tossing Achane in there with Reek and John.
And then I'm mix and matching out of the 3 of them with Tua, like a good amount. And then I sometimes do like Achane with another piece and then run it with Anthony Richardson. So just some stuff that I was doing. The Bowers one, I was on record early in the week saying if we don't get AOC, it'll be the worst ADP on the board, like hands down. Yeah. And now that it looks like we're going to get AOC, I really like it. And I really like that game environment. Like that one's going to be I think that's going to be a fun game. So I've been trying to mix it in a little bit more. But I've kind of been McBride, Jonnu, Bowers. Now I'm mixing a little bit of Bowers, and then I scroll down after that, and I'm kind of skipping that next clump of Kincaid, TJ, and Laporta.
No Kittle mention? I think Kittle's my favorite this week.
I think Kittle's fine in the game environment sense, and I like him in general. It's just not one that I was trying to get overweight to.
Yeah, that's fair. The thing for Kittle for me is he falls outside of like the opportunity cost range of like, you know, you can still get some real, like you can still get HN, you can get Hurts. Like there's some really nice plays you can get here. And then Kittle, it's like, all right, now we're down into free for all territory. And I know Kittle can match McBride and Bowers and honestly has a better touchdown expectation. Maybe not McBride when you look, it is funny. Like, okay, by his historically, yes, but by team total, not necessarily. But yeah, I think all of these guys are very strong. And then I really want to be randomizing and mixing and matching after that. Like, I don't think I want to be massively overweight any of these guys after 4.
No, I'm with you, man. Normally I like tight ends like 1 through 16. Not this week. I'm pretty concentrated in my chalk tight ends. John mentioned Strange. I think Strange is a great scroll. And I do think Pitts is a good scroll too, man. I'm willing to take Pitts and see if you can get some deep shots from Penix this week.
Yep. I thought for a second with T. Higgins looking doubtful, Gesicki was going to open up as an awesome scroll. But I think that's off the menu here. Nez, can I give you, because I really like this spot for the Bears and we can talk about them. Maybe we transition into scroll down gems and we kind of snake draft it here and stay at the tight ends. I haven't thought about him much just because I like the receivers so much, but any love for Cole Kmet?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the results just have been terrible, right? It's been really, really, really poor. But I think the spot for Detroit is it's kind of awesome. I was a little asleep to the amount of injuries Detroit has on their defense. They're decimated. They're absolutely decimated at home in Chicago. And you want to talk about bad defense. The Bears are in the past like 4 or 5 weeks are the worst defense in football, bar none, just the worst defense in football. So you have outdoor golf, who I think people maybe are getting less and less scared about. It's not supposed to be like raining or any bad weather, just a little chilly in Chicago. This game could go nuts. This game could be super, super awesome. So I like Kmet. I'm doing a lot of Kmet in the goal line stand right now. I mean, tight end 20, right? Like that seems pretty fun for in 12-person drafts. But in 6 persons, I mean, I guess that's just like the greatest leverage ever. But in 6 persons, it's tough.
Yeah, John, I'm surprised you guys are so bullish on that game because it was one of my big like questions that I wanted to ask you guys. Because I came on Wednesday and I was like, yeah, I think like I saw all the same things that you guys saw outside of the fact that it being outdoors and the footing at Soldier Field. But I saw all like exactly what you guys just alluded to. And now I'm like slowly walking it back and like kind of like falling out of love with it. But I would say
I'm not like bullish on the game. Like how I see it going is, 3 random guys on Detroit score touchdowns in the first half, and the Bears have to do what they've done, what they did on Thanksgiving, what they did against Minnesota, and they just chuck the entire second half, and it feels like so gross. And then you look up, and Caleb has 27, and 2 of the receivers have over 20, and you're like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, I don't think it's going to be some back and forth, like, sick game. I just think garbage time's there.
I mean, total's 48, man. Total's 48.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think if this was a full strength Detroit defense, we'd be maybe looking at like 45, but like 48, and I think it has potential to really exceed that.
Yeah, I think my biggest I see all those things, and those were all the things I cited on Wednesday as well. The one thing that I've since come around on is just like the ball control mentality of like Dan Campbell to be like, how are we going to win right now when our defense is decimated and plays particularly man coverage? Like, how are we going to play? It's going to be like, hang on to the football as long as we can, play slow, bleed clock, run a shit ton. And then it just like doesn't materialize into a ton of garbage time because there's not a ton of time, like just in general.
Yeah, I guess whenever you're like running the offense with Gibbs and JMO, these are big, like they might have no choice but to score touchdowns fast.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna
yeah.
happen.
Yeah. All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll save one of my tight end gems for the video that will drop after this. Nez mentioned Kyle Pitts. It is tough for scrolls this week. I mean, shit gets really thin. And again, we see it's a weird thing, right? Where the tight end scores, you've been able to win with a few different tight ends the previous week. Like last week, you could have won with Laporta. You could have won with McBride. You could have won with Jonnu. But there's just not a lot of these guys. Like we've seen no ceiling from Zach Ertz, guys like Grant Calcaterra here. We've seen basically no ceiling from Hunter Henry. He's getting chewed alive by Austin Hooper. Like it is really hard to sell yourself on some of these tight end scrolls.
How about 54% of snaps Ben Sinnott without concussion protocol Zach Ertz this week as a skinny stack?
I think Ertz is going to play.
Okay.
He was limited when he needed to be, so he's on pace right now.
Okay.
When he returned to practice, yeah.
He would be the first one to clear concussion protocol this season in the same week.
Would he? I thought we had Tyron Tracy do it earlier this season.
But it was a Thursday to a Sunday. It was like an extra, like this would be like the first Sunday to Sunday, I think. That's why I was kind of like.
So you can, here you go, John. You take Zach Ertz and then you can swap him to Sinnott.
There you go.
Truly.
Let's do wide receiver scrolls. We'll just, move over here. I'll put it right. I'll do the cutoff like right after Neighbors. Okay. Obviously DJ Moore's moving up here a little bit. What do you guys like at wide receiver scrolls?
I like Jauan Jennings a lot. I'm just like fully out on Debo. Just I've seen enough, dude. Like
this is a spike click. He's
the best wide receiver on the team. I mean, it's just like I don't even know how you can truly say otherwise. They have no running backs left, man. Like I'm sorry, I have no confidence in Patrick Taylor. No, like Garendo, we actually kind of liked him as a prospect. He resembled a good, strong running back. We just didn't have the experience. That they're done. They have no running game right now. So they're going to be.
He's going to be an extension of the running game. That's how they're going to use him this game.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So I see a ton of dropbacks for Brock Purdy, and I think this Niners defense is not good right now. So you have the potential for them to be trailing and needing to play catch up. Jauan Jennings at 27% drafted. That feels really good.
Yep.
Cool.
John, give us your beautiful scroll mind here.
I got 5 on the side screen here. I got Jacoby Myers if we get it. AOC. Yep. I got Calvin Ridley, who had that 2-touchdown break the slate game previously. I have the corpse, the dusty, the one you're not going to want to put in the pick'em, Adam Thielen.
I clicked it before you even finished talking. It's just so fucking easy. Literally put it in before you had even finished.
DK Metcalf off the JSN stuff going early, though I'm not sure they will have time to throw deep, but it's got to happen one of these weeks. And then Josh Downs with the Richardson stuff that I'm in love with right now.
Yeah, Josh Downs. It's interesting because one thing that's been in my head, is like the progression. The first week, Bills against the Rams, I didn't have enough Josh Allen. Last week, I got on Josh Allen, but I think I played a little too much Khalil Shakur with it, like looking through my stuff. And I've been thinking about Josh Downs through that lens with Anthony Richardson of like, am I falling for a trap if I overplay Downs with Richardson? I guess, John, how much Downs would you play as a one-off? How much would you play with Richardson?
0% as a one-off, and with Richardson, like out of my, 30 Richardson teams, I'd probably play like 5 downs or something.
Okay, so pretty small amount.
Yeah.
That to me sounds right. I think I was way too much Shakir with my Allen last week, which was a huge leak.
With the Allen conversation, are we ready to go back to 50% of snaps? Amari Cooper, 14 targets, then goose egg.
What do you think? Because I guess what I'm hinting at with this conversation with Down, Shakir, Cooper as well is like, do these guys have the raw ceiling? We've seen it week after week. You can get 18 points from one of these guys and you're still not shipping BR. Like you're going to need 25 from your wide receiver. Can Amari Cooper get to 25?
I'm not getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have big time concerns about how the Bills get there against the Patriots. And I'm heavily concentrated on it being through James Cook. That's the way I want to play it.
Yep. I think that's kind of the lens that I want to view a lot of these guys back here. I think Calvin Ridley absolutely has it. I like the DK Metcalf call. I think Jacoby maybe. Juwan Jennings is kind of like the best of both worlds, where you kind of get the ceiling of it, but you get the banked in target upside. But that's kind of the screener that I'd want to apply when I'm out here. Who can drop 25 and be in the optimal lineup down here.
Just to throw some more names. Sorry, we're about to Jameson Williams. I love this week, and then Mooney, obviously, in regards to that Falcons conversation. Just want to make sure that he gets some love in this segment too. These guys, just strong A dots, like you said. I just think if these guys go for 2 touchdowns, super low, and like Mooney doesn't even have a draft percentage, single digit draft percentage for JMO in a game that I think can really pop off. Like those two a lot.
Cool. Yeah, the only other one we haven't hit, and again, it's kind of like the Calvin Ridley thing. Like Marvin Harrison, the floor is like literally 0, but I still think he can drop 25 in the right spot. So in BR, it's a little different on redacted, where it's like you're sacrificing so much with the PPR taking these huge things. But I think you being willing to take the air balls from Ridley, from Metcalf, from Harrison, from these guys, knowing that a 25 ball does pop up, once every 8 games, is worth it. Mm-hmm. All right. Scroll running backs. We already talked about how it's pretty tricky. We have a few news things going on. It looks like both Kenneth Walker and Sharbs are going to play, which certainly complicates it and doesn't make either of them very attractive. Jerome Ford would have been a scroll du jour, but Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to pour some cold water on that. I don't know if anyone's going to get to Patrick Taylor other than John, who I'm sure will be like, I already have 6 shares.
I already got one. Just one.
Okay. What do you guys like at running back?
I like Tajay Spears stuff. That's one that I was kind of pounding the table for on Wednesday. If I know Tony Pollard's gone DNP both of the last 2 weeks all the way through and then still played. But if he goes DNP all through this week, they also have some financial incentives to not play Pollard. I don't know. You can read that both ways, whether the team wants to give him money or not give him money. And then, Tajay was a monster in the second half of that game after Pollard got banged up. So I kind of like that one a little bit. I was on the Swift stuff in the 12 persons early this week as a game environment play if Roschon didn't go, but now Roschon's going to play. So I'm kind of walking that one back there. And then that you hit on the Seattle running backs. I said earlier in the week that I wanted to play if just one of them was active. Now, if both of them are active in a bad matchup, like literally the bottom three matchup for opposing running backs and the worst offensive line at creating yardage in football, I think I'm just going to stay clear of that one. So for me, it's kind of like Tajay, Brian Robinson, and that's kind of it back here.
It's cool. Go ahead.
The one of them, I'll say for the video, but deep down here that I'm trying to talk myself into it, you can run on the Bills. And if there is any chance of this game staying competitive, I think it's because Ramondre has a big game. Obviously, there's plenty of issues there. They are going to use Antonio Gibson. That would be, if I am getting to a lot of Josh Allen, I would want to have some Ramondre. Play that bring back, play the idea that you can run on them. I know Jeff Ulrich, who does really well in the pick'em streets. I always tail his stuff over on Fantasy Life. He likes the hires on Ramondre rushing this week. So that's a spot I might try to get a little sprinkle, nothing insane, but I'm basically just driving home what we've been saying, which is it's really hard to find good scrolls down here. But what do you got, Nez?
I like the Ramondre shout. I mean, there's plenty of 70-yard game logs there for the rushing, but no, it's Coldwater City, man. I mean, you mentioned the DTR for Jerome Ford, like that really stinks. Like Aaron Jones, like it doesn't even count as a scroll, but I'm not even like super stoked about him. The DeAndre Swift getting Roschon in is like tough. Like that was looking really nice, like potentially 20 touches for Swift, but they clearly, new coaching staff wants to get Roschon going. Can we do Travis Etienne? Can we? We just saw him 18 touches against the Jets. Receiving work, literally zero receiving work for Tank Bigsby. Like this is a kind of a decent role for Etienne. Right. It seems like he's sort of back in the circle of trust here. We're going to get to it on pick'ems, but this might be the slopping up best of the season.
This century. Yeah.
This Vegas Jags game. I don't think it's crazy that Etienne is in a very high scoring lineup this week.
I like it, man. You can run on the Raiders. Like you said, you have a few outs. You got receptions, you got rush attempts, you get a goal line carrier, big play. Maybe you get this game just slopping it up in a fun way. Play him opposite Bowers, play him opposite Jacoby. I don't mind it if we're gal branding.
Who would you guys rather play, him or Devin Singletary if he gets the backfield to himself?
Oh, I think I saw that Tracy's good.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Questionable. But anyways, your hypothetical. I think you got to go Singletary in that spot.
If Singletary is if we're getting full motor, it's motor. Yeah. No.
The other two 12 persons only game script fall into the end zone that I might do some pick'em stuff with on my own accord would be Craig Reynolds and Tyler Algier. Those are the only two.
1 second here. I gotta wind something back. On my own was the way you said that is doing so much heavy lifting, and also
it's because I'm not gonna make you guys do it.
No, because you know what? We can't win here because you went on a victory lap tour on the shows this week about this Mac Jones completion thing. We win and lose as a team. We don't throw each other under the bus. And this guy, if they would have just listened to my Mac Jones, all right. So I don't want to hear on my own. All right. These pick'ems are ours collective as a family. If you put Craig Reynolds in a pick'em, we put Craig Reynolds in a pick'em.
All right. Deal.
Reluctantly.
Very reluctantly.
Damn.
All right. Let's do quarterback real quick, and then we'll start hopping in some drafts. Top six here. Let's cut it off. I think after Kyler, you can kind of see the percentages drop here via the draft caddy. Once we get to Darnold, we're 30% or lower. Let's do that as the cutoff. Favorite quarterback scrolls for you guys?
Obviously, been talking about him every segment. Michael Penix, excited to get to him, to scroll down, stack him up a variety of ways. The Bears Lions game, super excited about as well. And then Tua, like John said, I love the variety of ways that you can stack Tua. Find it to be very, very fun to build those Tua teams out with I like doing Achane, like Achane Hill or Achane Jonnu with the Tua teams for sure.
Like it. I like the AR stuff the best by like a landslide. It's AR, then Tua for me, and then the Caleb stuff, I guess. And then I did one cheeky Drake May Hunter Henry one. Just if they push game environment. That one's kind of like a game stack only one for me. So I did it opposite the James Cook stuff. Like James Cook scores 3 times, breaks the slate kind of deal.
Yeah. I will. The one that makes me most uncomfortable that I think might be good. Like the one, you know how every week we have the one, like last week it was Rodgers, right? Like you look back and it's like, of course against the Jags, and all they want to do is throw, and like he drops a 30 ball. You know, Geno in this spot, home versus Minnesota. Seattle has given up, or the Vikings have given up the most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. They've given up a ton of points to quarterbacks. It's kind of interesting because they do have that good blitz, and they give, you know, more green quarterbacks fits. I think Geno can kind of handle this blitz. I think he can get it out quick when needed. If there's one where we look back at like, holy shit, both JSN and Metcalf, you know, went off in this game. They get the running backs back. I don't know. That's the one I think we could look back on and be like, wait, that it was just right there. Like, why weren't we on Geno at home at zero ownership?
Yeah, that's a really good shout there, Pete. The interesting thing that like everybody's been poo-pooing Seattle's pass rate over expectation and stuff like that. I mean, both Minnesota and Seattle are still top 5 in the league. And then over their last 4 games, when everybody's citing the fact that like, oh, people have been hurt and they're not pushing as much, they're still like top 12. So, I mean, there is reason to think that game can go back and forth through the air.
Yeah. Yeah, but plenty of options here. Lots of fun ways to stack this up. Let's you guys want to hop in a Deposit Kingdom draft here, talk a little small field?
Yeah.
It's time.
All right, let's do it here. Thank you to everyone watching here, whether you're on the BadgeBros stream or my channel. Make sure you guys are liked and subscribed. If you're watching over on my channel, the BadgeBros have videos near daily, multi-sport athletes, premium shows for their YouTube members, all kinds of good stuff. If you guys are looking to get into the NBA streets. And Nez, you have a stream tonight, premium no strip. You're going to be doing some goal line stands again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, goal line stands. And then I have to do some gauntlets, man, because we did gauntlets as well 2 Fridays ago, or maybe it was last Friday. I think it was last Friday. Phenomenal drafting with you guys on gauntlets is a very, very nice experience as opposed to drafting with these auto drafters and this other shit that you get in these lobbies, dude. So yeah, we're gonna end up doing gauntlets toward the end, but yeah, excited to do that members only stream for the BadgeBros members tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern.
There you go. Very good bang for your buck over there. Multiple other premium shows during the week as well. I know John ran a Primetime Palooza one. I know Nez will run some hoops ones. You guys will do some joint ones together. All of that good stuff. We got the Deposit Kingdom Weekly League back in the lobby. Same drill is always 2K to first. Got the 3-entry max, $10. I'll always review the winning lineups on the portfolio review and on the Deposit Kingdom weekly video that drops on Friday. So hop in and compete with us here. It was A-Wood who took it down last week. Just another just gorgeous lineup. Had the Devontae Adams, Brian Thomas, and then a Josh Allen with the Sam Laporta bring back. And then I think it was Brown and James Conner, just like a near perfect lineup.
Friends and family here.
How about a little influencer 101 here?
The influencer 101 amongst the influencers and amongst a BR champion and a dog bowl participant. Holy smokes.
Is Davis Maddock my Patrick Barnes YouTube to Davis Maddock? Is just bomb hunting my stream rooms?
Number 1 fan.
Yeah.
OOTC number 1 fan soon come on the usernames.
And then is this user's name Platypussy?
I thought it was Platypussy as well, but it's just Platypus 01. We were both thinking.
Our minds went straight to pussy.
Yeah.
It is right. Put Penix in week.
Oh, God, the amount of Penix penis jokes on my timeline.
Too many, comedy awards to give out for those people.
I will. I definitely want to take Gibbs here. I do think it's like a week where, like, I wouldn't say anyone was crazy for taking Barkley 101. I wouldn't say you're crazy of taking like Bijan and trying to flip builds a little bit, like stuff like that. But are you guys Gibbs here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty scared of the Barkley Q tag at one point, and like early in the week, I was scared that like because he left early last week, and I thought he would play no matter what kind of deal, but I was a little skittish on his health. But the fact that it's trending correctly this week, I could see you doing a little bit here and there. I've done some Ja'Marr Chase at 1, 2. But yeah.
All right. I just noticed our private DMs and you sent over a pick'em with Craig Reynolds and Tyler Algier.
Got to kick it off, baby. Got to start it off right, Pete.
God. What's so sad about this is that you posted it as if it was like an idea, but you had a shared link for it, which means you have placed money on Craig Reynolds scoring a touchdown as well as Tyler Algier.
I was ready. I'm not full of shit when I'm jamming these plays, man.
I thought that'd be like 20x. It's like 12.
Yeah. It's like 12x. I know, that's how good of plays they are, Nez.
Oh my God. No.
There's such good plays that we're not even getting good prices.
I wonder if we're gonna get my favorite. I didn't even like talk much about running backs. Okay, there goes James Conner. My favorite.
You wanted him on the cover.
I did, yeah. And then I was smelling roses. I didn't realize John beat me to the punch. He was like ADP 14 like all week. So bad.
He was Wednesday's cover boy, baby.
I think there's kind of an interesting combo in that Trey McBride is going to be paired with Gibbs a shit ton this week. And it's something I'm actually going to think about in the big BR. I don't care about it in this contest, but do you guys want to take McBride? You want to do Bowers? You want to do something else?
I'm good with the McBride.
I like the McBride.
Yeah.
I feel like it's on brand for us here.
And then
you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once hurts.
Yeah. I mean, for small field, man, I just feel like let's just try to get the highest scoring players at each position and then figure it out.
The other combinatorial one from the 101 that's going to happen a lot is when Terry and Jaden Daniels fall back to it over and over and over again. And there's going to be a ton of combinations of Gibbs plus one of the two tight ends plus a wide receiver, which is usually Adams because there is kind of like a tier break in people's minds. And then they just lump on the Jaden Daniels plus Terry almost every time.
Yep.
Would you?
No, I scroll, bro.
Of course.
I just punt that tier. Like, honestly, God, I just punt ADPs like round 3 through 5 every week.
Yeah.
The other one I was looking at the in-game syndicate combo data. Also a ton of Brian Thomas and McBride, which then I think you're going to get a ton of like Gibbs, McBride, Thomas. Like, let me get my, that's the stuff to look for there.
That one kind of coming alive later in the week because Brian Thomas, like James Conner, was buried earlier. Same with Chuba Hubbard. So that one's kind of coming to light now. Early contest samples probably won't reflect that, but now for sure.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to get contrarian off like the Burrow stuff when people are doing Burrow Chase over and over again, or some people are doing Chase and Burrow to just go, hey, T. Higgins and Burrow on the other side.
I mean, I think in general, like if you're just trying to look to get unique, like the backdoor stacks are one of the simplest way. Like if you think of any of those examples, like Jefferson, Darnold, and Addison, like there's going to be so many more Jefferson Darnold teams than there are Darnold. And obviously Jefferson's around one player. I get like how that works, but just psychologically, people like grabbing their quarterback with a player they've already drafted as opposed to drafting the quarterback first. Like it's just a harder mental spot to get through, especially if you're an autopilot on these.
You just solved Best Ball Mania right there. Solved.
Yeah, very true there. I'm with Nez. I'm pretty hype on James Cook this week. I know John's like scroll bones are probably what is that?
What's that
noise?
Crazy noise?
Nez?
Right outside my window.
I'll give Nez James Cook and I'll let John get freaky with a wide receiver.
Guys, I would have taken Chuba for the game correlation stuff with Trey McBride. I like Cooper Kupp's squeaky wheel a little bit.
Okay.
I know, or we could take Cover Boy, DJ Moore. A lot of design screen stuff for him last week.
Yeah, let's do DJ opposite Gibbs. You didn't get the game environment with Chuba.
Yeah, let's do it.
Although maybe you'll make us jam Adam Thielen in this contest with 1,600 people.
Hey, we're searching for floor, baby. I'm gonna rename Hilo and Lord Reeves show, searching for floor, and it's just going to be a 5-second video every week of me just like play Adam Thielen, and then it just clicks off.
No, I'm definitely stealing that for Cash Game Week. I'm going to say that I'm launching a new podcast called Searching for Floor.
That's so good.
I got to get the drafts going. The Twitter drafts, I should say.
Of course.
All right, one more pick here. We got Hurts, we got Gibbs, Cook, DJ Moore, and McBride. And we can do whatever we want with this last wide receiver here.
I'm going to start mixing in some more Njoku as this week goes on, I think. That Q tag is going to keep people off. DTR loves to get it to him. I think I'm going to start mixing in some more, a little less of this premium tight end stuff and start mixing in a little Njoku.
Okay.
Anyways, that doesn't help us at all in this moment. I just needed to get it off my chest.
We're here. We could do Jawan Jennings. We talked about him.
You could do
a Seattle wide receiver. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I'm torn on the in small field. I definitely don't mind it. For some reason, I feel like I kind of like a one-off more, but I'm not opposed to Devontae.
Yeah, I've been doing one-offs mostly. Crazy idea doing like a two bears here, and that this game that they end up chucking. Yeah, crazy idea.
I don't mind it. Which one do you, Keenan?
I was gonna say Keenan.
I don't mind it. Let's do it. Phantom stack.
I've got the leaf blowers like right outside my place right now, so I have to do the push to talk thing for the rest of the show until I get that.
Dude, that's a nice flex though. Leaf blowers in December 20th, and it's leaf blower season.
It's not snowing here.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's literally fall here right now. Like the oak trees that do exist around here, like finally changing colors. It's like kind of nice because I miss like the Northeast falls, but yeah. Now I got my HOA fees, leaf blowing right outside during stream hours.
It's pretty nice here. It's like 52. That's not terrible right now. 51. Not terrible this time of year.
Yeah. The so for if you want your 12 person strategy, we're gonna leave that to Nez tonight on the No Strip stream. Again, reminder that's 10 p.m. Eastern kickoff, Nez.
Correct. Yeah. 10 Eastern, and we might go for 2 hours because we're going to do some gauntlets. So we might be extending that.
Nice.
All right. I did just have to pull this up because I just wanted to revisit some pain from last week. It was a good day. It was a good week for our pick'ems on the whole. We hit the bomb. Devontae Adams 2 tutties, Brian Thomas over 99.5 yards, but we built this slop it up game stack. We all love this. We hit CeeDee Lamb. We hit Rico. Chuba hit in the first quarter. Hit Adam Thielen there at the end. We needed, guys, and as I'm sure you are well aware, we needed 11 more Bryce Young passing yards. He was sitting at this number, had multiple cracks at it. Just massive tilt on this one for me, guys.
It's actually extra pain because we slid it to that number too. It would have got home if we didn't get all slidey on it.
I actually forgot about that.
Did we slide?
Yeah. Because the actual number on the site wasn't that. It was like 115.5 or something like that. Or,
I thought it was a 10-yard slide though. Because
it could have been 119.5 and we would have lost even brutal.
It would have been a hook. No, we had to because it really helped with the multiplier. Like it helped a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was EV. It was for the EV, I swear.
Yeah. Just think of the Skolanskis we'd be swimming in, boys.
I know. All right, but it's time to turn over a new leaf to focus on week 16. It's time to get spicy.
Pick'em, spicy margs, radioactive spice.
Let's spice it up, slop it up.
I mean, slide. Just
permission to slide, Your Honor.
You sliders.
That's a 65X. That makes me feel things.
Oh.
All right, guys. I feel like there's only one spot for us to start, and I feel like that's with the slop it up fest of the season, of the century, Jags, and Raiders. Are we all in agreement there? Or do we want to do our core first? I got too excited.
No, let's get excited.
Yeah, let's slop.
Okay, let's slop and then we'll circle back to the core. All right. Jags, Raiders, we get AOC in. Pick 'em numbers already reflect that. Where do you guys want to start here?
I think Bowers, right? I think we can maybe all agree that we would like to take some Bowers hires.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me bring it up as well.
Yep. So you got Tutty for him's 1.4, 6.5 receptions, 67.5 receiving yards. At this point in the week, we do not have fantasy points or targets or first downs, which are always fun to mess around with. So, but this is what we can deal with here.
Yeah, I think, we always kind of like build base and then go slide. I think we should slide receiving yards Bowers just a little bit, just a baby slide. Like the ones you send April down and you're there to catch her after. Just a little baby slide, maybe like 1.2.
Let's see here. Send him up to 80 yards.
I like receiving. That. What do you think? Is that a little too hot?
No. Okay. No, if anything, it's not hot enough. But no, let's John, you famously got overruled on Mac Jones. Do you want redemption on his completions?
What's the number on his completion?
Actually, do I see it up here?
They're so shook. They're like, yo, John's gone in for a. They didn't know how deep in the well I was, man. They didn't know how far down the rabbit hole I was that I was looking at Mac Jones completions. Got me all shook right now. Won't even put it up for us.
I know.
I think I like the Strange stuff.
Yeah.
I know he's questionable today. If there's receptions up there, I would like that the most. But if we're going to go to the other side of that, yeah. I also think on the Vegas side, like they're super concentrated when AOC's at quarterback. Like, yeah, I think you just do Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers, like you do them both on here.
Yeah. I'm definitely good with that. I mean, their ceilings have been kind of negatively correlated, but I don't necessarily think their floors are. If we just want to play
receptions on one or touchdown on one, receptions on the other, yardage on one, touchdown on the other, like something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. The only other thing I'll toss in just to let you guys know, I really like the Alexander Madison stuff. To talk about it a little bit, like the last we saw the backfield like this, which is basically without a Zamir White, where it was just Madison and Amir Abdullah, obviously Sincere McCormick wasn't involved then. That was like weeks 5 through 9. And during that stretch, he was averaging 17 carries a game and like 4 targets during that stretch. So I like the scrimmage yards a lot on Madison, like the 56.5. So I'm just throwing that out there to see like if we want to attack this Raider spot, like what is the best way with all three of these guys?
I'm with you on the Madison stuff. I think his role is going to be extremely solid here. So,
yeah.
However we want to play that, I am down. But I'm with you.
Let's do Madison scrimmage, Bowers receiving, Jacoby Myers catches. If we're not getting docked, are we getting docked?
No, and it's offset because Jacoby's receptions is juiced down, but we slid Brock Bowers, so it's basically a wash, a 6x to a 6.29.
And then you do AOC touchdowns, Brenton Strange yardage, or you do Mac Jones and Strange on the other side of it. Or do you guys
unless we want
something else, yeah.
No, where is I just wanted to see the Brian Thomas because that's the other thing of like.
Yeah.
Because he's like less than 50, less than 60, right?
5.5 receptions for Brian Thomas. I don't want to say the word free, but it seems free.
Yeah, definitely don't call it an L word, but it seems good.
Like I wish they had Brenton Strange receptions. Looks like something's getting updated with that right now, actually. But I definitely like.
I have Strange on my app. It's 38.5. For receiving yards, but like you said, nothing for receptions for Strange, but
how about we don't include the quarterbacks then? Like that's normally like a correlation pattern thing that we do, but why don't we do Brian Thomas on the receptions and then we do Strange on the yardage and see if it comes to like 20?
It does. It's a clean 20.98.
Oh my God. It was like
you just want the classic 20. Yeah,
let's go.
Come on.
All right. This is redemption. We learned we don't fuck around with the quarterback. We just play the hits. These are going to be the 5 highest usage players in this game. So,
simply done.
All right, there it is. Let me drop this in the private chat. Let me drop it in the group chat.
That's a fun game, man.
How about this? Permission to slide, Your Honor. Can we take this? I want to basically ladder this game. Like I want to say if we are directionally accurate on this, I want to be able to capture a tail outcome of this game going nuts.
Okay. Pete, don't say it out loud yet. And I'm going to put it in the private chat how I would do it. And if we arrive at the same conclusion, it's going to be a double unit for me. All right. This is going to be.
I don't even know what's happening.
Okay.
So you want me to guess?
Now you say it.
One of these?
Now you say what you want to do with the slides. Just say them out loud. I'm just putting it on record. I'm getting it down on paper.
Well, I basically just would want to slide all the ones that we have in here. Just out like I don't know if I had some other genius idea. Can I look at your chat?
Yeah, well my chat is we slide Brian Thomas to the moon again, and then we go Brock Bowers double touchdown, and we run back a similar narrative to last week, but just with those two as one of our combinations.
So I'm not opposed to that, but my only thing is I always like looking at like, okay, so like Brock Bowers 2 TD, okay, that is 9.1x. Because I was gonna say to get to a 9.1 on a receiving, yeah, okay, you're right. It's not even close with Brock. You play the 2 tutties there.
That's incredible.
All right, this is not financial advice or free. This is already at a 157, and that was the only thing we did. So I mean, John blew. We're like, hey, let's slide up this game, and John fucking blew his load with one pick.
One slide. Let's get Craig Reynolds in here. No, okay. Let's
take something out of it.
I was saying just run those two.
Yeah, he's trying to do what we did last week, where we just.
Gotcha. I thought you meant all.
No. He wants to do like Brian Thomas for like what? How much for Brian Thomas? A century?
Well, whatever you guys think is best. If you want to go catches or if you want to go yardage, I tend to lean yardage. But whatever we think gets us a nice spot.
So okay, previous 2 weeks. So he's been at 8 receptions, 10 receptions. Seems like pretty clear he can live in this 9 reception range. Like let's say we did the 8.5 at 3.88. Do you like him getting 9 catches for 3.88? Or to get equivalent, we would need like 120 yards. I kind of like the catches.
Yeah.
It seems way more feasible for the payoff.
That's exactly what we said about Malik Neighbors last week, and he got 10. Seems feasible, boys.
That is the buzzword. 93x. Does that move the needle for you?
It makes it move.
I'm feeling something.
So, John, did your little game qualify for a double unit for that, or or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. There it is in the chat. There it is. There. I am just curious. One other thing on the what is the Brock Bowers reception slide? Because that's the other thing we've seen. You can, so it is similar. That is I guess it's still less, 11 receptions. That is so many receptions, but yeah, I like how we did it.
Me too.
11 receptions is crazy because like they might only throw like 28 times. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so that is gonna be our BB slide there.
A lot of letters I don't usually put together.
Do we want to circle back to the core? It does feel this is like smoking a cigarette in bed after.
This is a cold fucking shower right here for a 6x. Like,
let's get the 6x. John, lead us off. And basically what you've earned from your bitching is that we can't veto it. Whatever you decide to put in the core, we can't veto.
All right. Well, I got a couple.
Yes. No, absolutely. Thank you for the reminder, Chip. Absolutely do not tail any of these.
Okay. I kind of want you guys to start. Okay. I'm not as bullish on the Caleb stuff as you guys, but I know you guys don't want to play that one. How about let's take a peek at some Breece Hall lowers?
Oh man.
I did not expect you to go this route.
Yeah.
No.
I like it.
I'm looking at some Breece Hall lowers on the receiving stuff because of the way they've been mixing and matching other dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, the scary thing is just like Breece can do it with one play. That's the only thing that's scary about it.
Are there catches though? Are there receptions?
Yeah, 3.5. It's juice low. Yeah. He's been over this. Yeah.
I don't love that it's
John, can I tell you what the core is?
Okay.
The core is something you feel so strongly about deep down inside that you want to start tossing around the L word, that you want to start telling people that they can bet the house on it. That's what a core is, bro. Not like, kind of like this.
All right,
Show
you guys
some
want
fucking conviction.
All right, you guys want the core play then? You guys are gonna hate it.
No, I want your conviction.
All right, lower Jameson Williams.
All right.
Lower
Which
Jameson
one?
Williams.
Which one?
Receptions.
All right.
Yeah.
We said we couldn't veto it. No comments from the peanut gallery. Nez, what do you want?
I want a different pick from John.
I told you guys were gonna hate it, man. I don't see this game the same way.
I got lowers. I got a lower too, man.
All right, fine. Well, okay, let's do a lower core, and then we can get it out of our system.
There we go. Okay, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, lower passing yards. You guys, no disrespect to Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who has found his way. He's worked really hard his whole life. He's in the NFL. He gets a start here. Stu stinks. Stu is not good. He's very, very bad, and this is punishment for whatever reason. The football gods are punishing us and taking away Jameis Winston from us. So let's capitalize on this and take a lower on DTR here for passing yards.
All right.
I'm going to keep with the theme. Obviously, the lowers. I think the market kind of overreacted on Kyron's huge rushing game last week from a carry perspective, just the 49ers being such a run funnel. I don't think that game is going to set up as much here. 20.5 rushing attempts is so many rushing attempts for a road game here against the Jets. I think we see a little bit more throwing here. So I'm going to throw in Kyron lower 20.5 rushing attempts.
Cool.
All right. This pays a 5.58x. I just get I've never had less fun building a pick'em than this. Look at how sad this is. I want to slide Dorian Thompson down. That's how bored I am.
I told Davis that. I said you can slide him down. I told him that earlier today. I said it on record. So you know what? If you want to have more fun with my core, you have permission to slide him down.
Can we slide this? What do we think is reasonable? Can we get this up to a 10x?
I think, yeah.
Or 7x, that's fine. Or what do you think, Nez?
Dude, 169. How about that?
Yeah,
I think there's a strong chance that this dude gets benched.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. The slide down, the rare slide down.
Down. Yeah. So scroll the F down in the pick'ems.
All right. This is to an 8.48x here. All right.
Oof.
I know it is funny that he still has the college football. Can't even get his face on there. Yeah.
Do you guys know who's going to play the second half after he gets benched?
Not Jameis Winston, because they hate us.
Who?
Yeah, do you know who it's going to be?
No, I'm asking you
Bailey
to tell me, 'cause
Zappi.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's,
All right, can we get a core higher here? This is where, let me just refresh your guys' memory. This is generally we do like an undervalued quarterback's passing yards. This is where we generally hit like Rashad White receptions higher. How about, can we look at Juwan Jennings reception? We're all hype on Juwan Jennings. That feels like a nice core higher.
Let's get the mojo back.
I got a core one that I like that pairs
Five
decently with the Juwan Jennings stuff.
Okay. I also think we could sorry, I was just gonna say I think we'd also put the Brian Thomas receptions in this as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that one too. I like Achane yardage stuff. And if you want to go the combo stuff, or if you want to go just the rushing, you hit on the fact that a bit of a run funnel there, going to be down Waddle as well. I like the rushing number at that 50, but if you want to go, I just think he's more projectable than he has been, and yeah, I mean he hasn't been getting home, but the workload seems fine.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're at this point with Achane. I'm literally wondering if I like the rush attempts more than the rushing yards, which seems wild.
I'm fine with attempts or receptions.
I was going to say, I'm not the biggest proponent of Achane rushing yards. I threw it out last week that I like the lower on Achane rushing yards. That actually hit in this one here. He's just so much more of a weapon in the pass game.
Yeah,
that's so much more of how his work gets there. Now, I do agree that there are the rushing projection is better here. It's just like for whatever reason the rush game just has not been it.
Yeah.
And I think
John, do you like this receptions number? I mean, he's easily cleared this 5.5 and 3 straight.
Yeah, I'm good with receptions, combo yardage, whatever you guys want to do. Receiving yards, I'm fine with. Yeah.
What's your favorite, Nez?
I think scrimmage yards.
Okay, middle it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it? I feel like isn't that lumping in a part that you don't like, the rushing yards?
Yeah, it's just a way to mask it a little bit with the receiving stuff. But I still think he's going to rush the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The efficiency just has been really poor on the ground.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I know. That's like I kind of just like to decouple the rushing efficiency stuff. So I would say rushing attempts, receiving yards, or receptions.
Just do receptions. Get a little bit of juice.
A little bit of juice. And then what about Brian Thomas on here? We tossed around the S word or the L word.
Yeah, I think that's our favorite play thus far.
Yeah.
Do you want to slide him? It's 0.93x for 5.5 receptions for Brian Thomas.
Oh, so they just adjusted that because we put it in. They took that. That was clean. That was even money when we were looking at it a few minutes ago.
Was it not? Yeah.
Sure was.
God damn.
So this is already a 7.1 because of the Achane and the Jennings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it.
All right. I feel good about this one.
That was better. Good rep.
Hey, good. You know what? Sometimes we just all have to motivate each other.
Yeah.
It's late in the season. Sometimes there's some mental slips. Sometimes we need the sniffing salts on the sideline. I had to give them to John there for a second. All right, I'm back.
Dude, I love those things on the bench. I'm an addict. Power play. Here we go.
Go on. All right, let's do one more. Let's do one more game, and then we can do a couple bombs.
Well, we can't do Bears Lions.
Yeah, John's really.
There's no congruency there, and we just did our slop it up fest. Where do we go from here?
How about Seattle, Minnesota?
Okay.
Yeah, we did just get the Walker news. We got the Walker news. I wasn't going to poo-poo Lions Bears if you guys really want to do it. I just wouldn't touch the JMO stuff, and I'd be more on the Bears pass catchers side of that equation. That's how I would play it. I would play it through Gibbs and Bears pass catchers. But if you guys want to do Seattle, I'm all for it as well.
That would be my preferred way to play the Bears stuff too, with Gibbs and Bears passing game. So I'm happy to do that.
Okay, let's take a look at it. See if we like it.
Let's do that. I can totally make this concessions that if we do this, no JMO enters the idea box. I'm willing to concede.
So
the most slidable wide receiver does not enter the accord.
Of course not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of good stuff on this. I guess the first thing, how would you like to play Gibbs? Just scrimmage yards?
Ooh. The Gibbs numbers are just out of this world.
They're fat.
They are. Yeah.
out of this motherfucking world. I think scrimmage yards, right? And just hope that there's no possible number that they could possibly give us that can really capture the range of outcomes for Gibbs.
Numi's already out here pre-boosting stuff.
Did we just get rugged on
It
that?
literally, like, as you said, scrimmage yards, it poofed out away.
Do we need code words? Do we need to be speaking in encryptions on this show?
At the exact same time, the Caleb passing yards went up 2 as well.
Dude, look at how scared Underdog is. They will only let you slide his receiving yards up to 124.5 right now.
Wow.
I mean, there's simply just not a number that they can put that I think can like really capture Jahmyr Gibbs. They're scared.
I kind of like the idea of doing some of like, we do one of the Bears receivers like reception 1 yards, but then play Caleb like 1.5 tutties.
Okay, interesting.
Money.
I just did the opposite, Pete, and did Caleb passing yards, and then did DJ Moore touchdown and Keenan Allen touchdown, and that's 14x for those ones if you play it that way.
Okay, yeah,
and that's without Gibbs in yet. So, but I'm down to see what it looks like the other way too.
I guess it's easier to know that like Caleb's gonna throw TDs than guessing who's gonna get them. But
I like that. I like that train of thought.
Yeah.
And you get a nice multiplier considering we think they're gonna chuck.
So if we did, and we can maybe slide this, if we did DJ Moore yards in Keenan receptions would probably be ideal.
DJ Moore yards, Keenan's. Yes, I think so.
So that puts you at 11. I kind of like the idea of sliding something on DJ or Keenan. Evergreen.
Yeah. What do you think? I think sliding DJ more. That's my first thought.
Yeah.
79.5 gets you to 1.7x.
Get you up to a 19 there.
By adding 20 yards.
You take one extra Keenan catch, get you up to 1.66. That's pretty nice. Adds an extra 10x there.
I mean, I would be down to play this. What do you guys say? I mean, for 29x for four picks here. I mean, it's super clean, right? Gibbs goes nuts. Caleb chucks. I mean, this to me tells a very, very clean and easy story.
I like it.
Craig Reynolds scores 3 times. Wait, what? We're not putting that one in?
They don't offer all multipliers that high.
I can't wait for people to tilt their faces off looking at that Gibbs 18 fantasy points. And then,
John,
it's in the fourth.
Didn't I just give you a talk that we're all on the same team when we make these picks?
No. He's already got in this analogy. He's already hit this number. He's got 18 fantasy points. It's going to be like in the fourth quarter. They're up 2 scores, and Craig Reynolds scores it instead of Gibbs breaking the slate. Okay. That's what's happening in this accord.
Because the only thing I can't stomach right now is you bag defending your Tyler Algier, Craig Reynolds pick 'em, John.
Truly sick. We did combo yardage on Gibbs.
Correct.
Yeah, higher 124.5. God, that's a fat number.
It's a big ass number.
It is, but man, he's the only like this. Dan Campbell has come out and said that like he's ready for it, and the Bears all season you beat the Bears on the ground. Now you take Eberflus out of the coaching room, and they have just been atrocious on all fronts. Like this is Gibbs. You just cannot put a number that is accurate enough for Gibbs for scrimmage yards this week. You can't.
All right. So here's one we have to do, right? We already talked about this.
Floodgates?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should probably ladder it. We should probably do it once with one TD.
Right?
Could you? I mean, yeah.
It's getting so greedy.
John, you wanted to do a Chuba Trey McBride.
Yes.
What do you want to slide on McBride? Or on Chuba?
I would say, what do we got? We got, oh man, that's higher now. The 71.5 too. What happens if we ladder the receptions one time
To 4.5.
Yeah.
That gives you a nice 28x there.
I mean, it's not like insane spicy, but like when I wanted to do it the first time, I was looking to go up from 61 rushing yards to like 75, but now it's at 71. So
wow.
And then I just want to see if we do just the classic McBride, like if you just did a mega, all right, so they're not letting you boost a ton there. I think you could just giga slide Chuba. That's the same. So that's the equivalent.
Okay.
Like McBride 2 tutties, 4 receptions, or McBride 1 tutty and Chuba goes nuts for 140 rushing yards.
What happens if you do 2 Chuba touchdowns? Do they give us anything good, or is it like 2.2?
2.5.
2.5. That is not good enough.
No. Do you guys know who is second on the team in red zone opportunities this season for them?
Is it Adam Thielen?
No, but it would be pretty good because he's only played a handful of games. It's still Deontay Johnson with 11.
Okay.
Chuba has
That's crazy.
49.
Wow.
Yeah.
We also don't have to force like why don't we just do this one, the McBride 2 tutties with Chuba, and then we'll run a McBride with 1 tutty with something else.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Good with it. Let's do either the receiving yards or the receptions.
For who? For Chuba?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe there's a better slider on the yards. Let's see. Yeah, we could do some more with that. Maybe like 30 yards.
Sure.
All right.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, someone's really telling on themselves that they don't follow Kyler on TikTok right now. The force field around the end zone is being shut down for 1 game only.
This dude made a promise, guys.
He did. The other one with the Gibbs stuff is Sonic 3 comes out this week.
Oh, there's a narrative.
There you
go.
Little Sonic and Knuckles, or what is it? Tails? Which one is he?
They do Sonic and Knuckles.
Knuckles, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Pete, can you share that one?
Yeah, my bad. There you go.
Thank you.
Let's if we're gonna hit the Brian Thomas, Devontae Adams again this week, because not only did we hit that, but that was a nutted combo to have in BR drafts. Who are our 2 wide receivers speed up the game
from the same game environment?
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings and Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
That's a good one. I was going to toss out one of the Seattle wide receivers in Jefferson.
Yeah.
As another one.
I was gonna say something with Mooney, but it's so hard to trust Drew Lock on the other side of that game to hold up his end of the bargain.
Well, yeah. I mean, with Neighbors isn't.
Drew Lock just.
I do fucking love sliding Juwan Jennings receptions.
I mean, that's wild, man. They're gonna drop back so much. What are they running the ball 20 times with Patrick Taylor? No. Juwan Jennings is going to be my generation's Keenan Allen in this game. I cannot believe that 9 receptions is 6x. That's enormous.
What's the two touchdown
this one
price on Tyreek?
finally makes me feel things.
Holy shit.
I like it.
So Jawan goes for 9 and Tyreek goes 130.
Let's have some fun.
Holy shit.
81x.
Come on.
This is how we get even.
I think we got even last week.
Have you been tailing all of our pickups, Sean?
I'll ask my accountant about that.
I'm not so sure. That's what I'm talking about right there. I mean,
That's hot.
I'm gonna use the F word. That's feasible. That is feasible.
All right. Can we do a Seattle in Jefferson?
Yeah, I wasn't really woke on this game until you guys started really talking about it, and now I'm a believer. I love Geno. I think Minnesota probably going to take a strong lead here. So let's do some air raid stuff with Seattle here.
Yeah. The question is, what do we do yards? Do we do tutties?
I would look at what's giving us a better price tag between DK and JSN, because if you can get JSN receptions to mirror that of DK 120 yards, then you're cooking, I think.
So you can get JSN receptions at 10 at 4.62.
Yeah. So what's the?
I mean, he literally did that last week. And then Metcalf, were you thinking yards?
Yeah, or if 2 touchdowns was on the table, if the receptions are more than 2 touchdowns, no.
Okay. You're not going to get anywhere close to 9 to 10x on that.
No.
Yeah, yards is nowhere close. The other one on DK that could be fun would be longest reception. One of the things that's been missing is then him just hitting that, taking that pass to the house.
What's up? What's been up with this season? Is he just completely taking a back seat? Has he been banged up? His game logs, man, are just really
offensive line sucks, and he's hurt or has been playing hurt. Those would be the 2 that jump out for sure.
Yeah.
And then their defense has gotten better. So that's kind of
This is what I like. This is
hot.
Thank you.
So JSN 9.5 reception, 4.62. Jefferson 139.5 receiving yards, 4.84. A little 67 xer.
Yeah.
Something
John, you want to run it twice with something with DK?
If we like the longest play, or if we like 110 yards or something.
Yeah, the yards just don't give us enough.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'm getting greedy.
I don't know, man. We're hitting a bunch of 4xers and stuff. They don't quite get that high.
Deontay released. Breaking news. Wow. What a run.
Is there a team in that division that could use a competent wide receiver for a playoff run? Maybe a team that he's familiar with?
Dude, could you imagine Deontay Johnson revenge game in the playoffs that the Steelers host?
I will buy his new jersey if he comes back. I will.
It'll be the same as the old one, would it not?
Buy it. I don't know.
Someone take his jersey? Yeah.
I forget what number he was.
I like let's take this down. Let's say J. Jeff gets to 129 and Metcalf catches a 50-yard bomb. That's a 70x.
That's fun.
I kind of like the thing with Metcalf of just because the volume hasn't been there, but right. I still think he get just can we reduce it to a big play?
Okay, and then Jefferson 130.
Or we take it down a little bit on Jefferson
to what? Maybe 100.
Oh, I had already taken it down 1 notch, but we could.
Okay, let's just do that.
The other thing we could do is we could flip it. We could do Jefferson reception ladder if we like that better.
Nah,
I mean, you can.
I like the yardage one.
I think so too.
Yeah.
No, I think I like yardage.
I just counted how many UD tabs I have open right now, and I had 17. Just clicking these links and bouncing back and forth.
Oh my God! I pray for your computer.
I figured out the hard drive stuff.
What are we settling on? 119?
What's that get us to?
Why it's not showing? Oh, there we go. That's a 53x.
That seems great.
Okay. All right. There we go. God, this are the private chat where I just post links. It's just a sea of blue text.
It's changing to purple on my end.
You just get all it takes is one. That's what they tell me. All it takes is one. All right, guys. We did our job. No strip stream tonight. Immediately following this, I'm gonna go post my DK video. And how about this for a spoiler? One of the gems is in this pick'em, and it's not the one with a first round ADP.
Ooh.
Out.
And it pained me. It pained me because I'm a JSN slappy. Anything else from you guys that you want people to check out here?
No, just got the no strip tonight. Super excited about that. So if you aren't a member at the Badge Bros, please sign up. Helps support John and I, and you get some exclusive members only content over there. Going to be ramping that up too as the year goes on. So yeah, that's what we got going on, or at least what I got going on.
Yeah, we got football 9 of the next 12 days. Actually, that was last night. That was including last night because they have the Wednesday games and they got the Saturday games both weeks. So football 9 of the next 12 days. So we'll be sneaking in some shows probably Monday next week, and then that'll be that kind of thing, at least on my end. And then go from there. But all starts with no strip Nez tonight.
Yeah, and we'll all be back as usual next week for a week 17, and then we'll huddle. You know, I turn into a cash game grinder week 18. And then week after that, we can definitely do that'll be the big playoff best ball week. And I assume we'll have a pretty nice BR for the wild card weekend as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have lots to discuss over the coming weeks. For me, I think I mentioned it for After Dark this week on my channel. Patrick Donovan, the man behind bbmdb.com. Excited to learn more about him and all of the work he's done to help us sweat our teams on Underdog. So that'll be fun. I'm sure we'll draft a couple teams and build some pick'ems as well. And then Sunday morning cram for me. But yeah, appreciate all of you guys. Next time, the 3 of us will see you collectively. We'll be post-Christmas. So everyone have a happy holidays, and may all of our pick'ems and BRs and all that good stuff hit. For John, for Nez, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys next time on Off and On the Clock.